Hello. So what is attachment theory? It's such an important topic to understand, especially when you've suffered from trauma. So attachment theory is about understanding how our earliest relationships, especially those with our parents, or if we call it our main caregivers, affect how we connect with others throughout our whole life. This isn't something that just affects us when we are very little. It's something that affects us throughout our entire life. So it's like looking at kind of like the blueprint of how we learn to love and how importantly how we bond with people from the time we were very little. So the whole idea of attachment theory began with a name called John Bowlby, and I've studied him quite extensively. Now, he believed that the way we are cared for when we are very young has a direct impact on our feelings, how we get along with others, and how what we think of the world that we live in. Then a researcher called Mary Ainsworth added to his theory, and it's quite a famous study called Strange Situation, if you're interested in going to find it. But in this study, she observed how little children behaved when they were separated from their parents and then reunited. And this helped show that kids were behaving differently in different ways, and they also demonstrated different ways of bonding, which tells us a lot about how we relate to others when we grow up. Now, there are four main types of attachment styles. We have secure attachment, where someone has very strong and healthy bonds. They feel safe, they feel supported, and they are comfortable in their own skin. Then we have anxious-preoccupied attachment, and this is where it's all about being very dependent on others for our emotional support, and there's often a fear that people will leave them. There's dismissive-avoidant attachment, and a person here kind of acts like they don't need anyone. They keep an emotional distance, and they often say that they don't value close relationships very much. And then we have fearful-avoidant attachment. Now, that one's a little bit complicated because people with this style, they really do want close relationships, but they are really scared of getting too close to someone. So the neuroscience behind attachment, it's really fundamental that we understand what this is if we suffer from trauma, because it explains how early attachment experiences are absolutely critical in how our brain develops. So it actually affects our neural circuits, which is responsible for our emotional regulation and our social interactions. It actually affects how the amygdala and how it performs. It affects the prefrontal cortex and the development of that, and that is our executive function. So the amygdala is our cortisol producing a function. It keeps us out of danger, or it also perceives danger. Our prefrontal cortex is our little radar. It perceives what our world is like, and it helps us to regulate. It helps us in decision making, in our emotional regulation, and how we secure our attachments in life. So it's really involved in effective emotional regulation. And then it helps us cope better. It helps us create those really good strategies that we need. But the long-term impact of not having these attachments are that our brain functionality falls apart. So we don't develop good resiliency, and we become very, very vulnerable. We also don't practice good neuroplasticity. So the concept of neuroplasticity highlights that the brain is actually able to change and adapt. That's what it's there for. That's what it's created for. It's there to learn and adapt and to modify. And it doesn't do that because it hasn't developed well enough. Now, if you're interested in attachment theory and perhaps it's something that resonates with you, We work with attachment theories in our program, the Trauma Recovery Method. We offer a bespoke program over a 4-month period. In fact, we are very, very excited to announce that our program is now 16 months long. We've had the most amazing feedback from our program. We've been running it now for a couple of years, and this is the best approach we've had. So in the next 4 weeks, you can expect to be able to book a consultation with myself or one of my team. We are able to then take you through an assessment to help you understand your trauma much better and to really carve out a path for you that's very bespoke, that's very one-to-one, and we can guarantee your success. So I hope that you found the information on attachment theory interesting today. Maybe it's something that you know you need to deal with. Maybe it's something that you need to deal with. If you do, drop me a line. I'll be happy to chat. Have a fantastic weekend wherever you are in the world, and goodbye. Bye.